Hey, everybody, welcome to this edition of our senior life training. My name is Joe Johnson. I'm going to be your host today. I'm going to be covering how to do an application utilizing the Slice app from your iPad. Just remember the Slice app is what we use to take applications either over the phone or in person. Typically, if you're doing phone sales, you're gonna use the web-based version. If you're doing face-to-face sales, you need to use that directly from your iPad. So let me just real quickly share my screen, and I've got a presentation here set up for you. Here we go. You should be seeing my my computer now. So this is what, when you open up your iPad, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the Slice app with these different icons. In order to start a new application, pretty simple here. You just click on application. Okay. You're going to need to log in. Your login is your agent number and the last four of your social security number. That login is going to be used for everything. Agent portal, Slice app leads the way. We make it simple. So once you're logged in, again, you're going to go back to the home screen. Now you're in the house and you're ready. You've already done your warm up and you've already gone through your pre-sale folder. At this point, you should have already talked about life insurance. You should have already gone through legacy and what legacy does. Now we're going to get into the qualification part and find out exactly what they qualify and give them some quotes. So I'm going to click on application. Very, very simple. You're just putting in their basic information. Just make sure is that when you do type in their information, don't use any nicknames. So my legal name is Joseph, but I go by Joe. Make sure you type in Joseph, not just their nickname, because everything you type in the beginning is going to carry over when you do the actual application. Verify the client's date of birth. What is the owner's relationship to insured itself? That's what it's going to be probably 90% of the time. Some situations, maybe you have a parent that's buying policy for a kid, or maybe you have a relative who's buying a policy for somebody else and they want to be the owner of the policy. You can do that. But typically it's just going to be self. Where am I taking this application? That's where you are physically. What city is the owner currently in? That's where we're taking the application. I'm in Chicago, Illinois. Just click continue. Now it's going to go right into the health questions. And part of when you're going through our in-home presentation, it all talks about that. Hey, Mr. Smith, I know those first questions may seem silly, but I am required to ask you, are you currently hospitalized or in a nursing facility? Of course, the answer is going to be no, right? Because we don't sell to people who are in, nursing homes. So we're going to answer no to that. And just make sure you answer these questions thoroughly and accurately. Have you been hospitalized, or have you been hospitalized 2 or more times in the last 10 years? My client's answering no to that question. Have you ever been diagnosed with cancer or had a stroke? So I'm going to answer yes, because my client had a stroke about 5 years ago. Okay. In the past 2 years, have you been cancer and stroke free? Yes. In the past 5 years, have you been cancer and stroke free? Yes, because my client's stroke was 5.5 years ago. In the past 10 years, have you been cancer? In the past 10 years, have you been cancer and stroke free? I'm answering no to that question because they did have a stroke within the last 10 years. Pretty simple, just answering and these are the preliminary basic questions that you're going to ask so you can do your field underwriting to make sure that you're quoting them the right thing. Any form of tobacco or nicotine, that includes vaping, dipping, smoking a pipe, a cigar, doesn't matter. If they're using nicotine, you need to answer yes to that question. Past 10 years, have you used any form of, so I answered no to that. Then it's asking me again, in the past 10 years, have they used any nicotine? Or had they had a blood pressure reading of 135/80 or higher? In this situation, it's no. If you were to answer yes to that, it's just going to give you an additional drop down and do some further underwriting. One other thing I just want to say, as we're going through this, in order to get yourself familiar, just go into the Slice app and write an application on yourself, or make one up. Just go all the way through. Just don't submit it, because then if you submit it, it's going to go to the home office. That'll create a hassle. But hey, if you're brand new, why not be your first client? Why not just write a policy on yourself? You're going to get paid on it, and you'll learn how to work the Slice app. Now I'm going to get into medications. My client was taking has lisinopril for high blood pressure. So I'm just going to type in the first couple of letters. You can see it's going to pop up lisinopril. Once it pops up lisinopril, it's going to ask me why they're taking it. Heart condition or blood pressure? Blood pressure in this circumstance. My client's diabetic and they take metformin. I'm going to type in metformin. I'm going to answer why they're taking it. Diabetes. I think that's about the only reason you'd be taking metformin. Height and weight. Make sure you put in their height and weight. I've got somebody who's 5'4" or 185. Does the proposed insured take any medications? We've already answered yes to that. We've already filled them out. That's all the medications. If I forgot anything, make sure you add it. Here's the one, just the caveat on medications. It's not just the medications that they're taking. It's the medications that they're prescribed. Just be careful with that. I've had situations where clients have been, maybe they went to the doctor, for a heart condition or whatever it is. And the doctor prescribed, hey, you need to be on this medication for your heart. And they prescribe it. Well, the client fills the prescription, gets the pills, but he decides, or she decides, what does the doctor know? I'm not going to take these pills. You still need to put those in there because they have been prescribed. So it's not just what they're taking, it's what they've been prescribed, whether they've decided to take it or not. Trust me, once you make that mistake and you get into a trick bag, you'll remember that. The other thing too, just as a quick note, is that clients that have severe asthma, bronchitis, emphysema, and COPD, if they're on a daily inhaler where they're using an inhaler, that's chronic lung disease. A lot of times when you ask your clients, hey, what are you taking for medications? Automatically in their head, they're thinking about pills. They're not thinking about nebulizers or inhalers. So just make sure you specifically ask, when you're asking about medications, ask about, hey, are you taking any type of, besides the pills, do you use anything for breathing treatments or for your lungs, any type of inhaler? It'll save you in the long run, because it doesn't ask you that specifically, but it asks you later with the questions about COPD. So just something to be aware of. Now that I got all the medication, the tool, the Slice app, has already underwritten it. It's going to tell me what this person is going to qualify for. First, it's going to give me these pop-ups with like a presentation as far as what they qualify for. Now, remember, in my presentation, I've already gone through all this with utilizing the Senior Life brochure and the Legacy brochure. So I'm not going to go over it again. I'm just going to kind of fast forward to the part where it tells me what they qualify for. And you know what? I apologize. In this slide, darn it, I think I put these together. I left it out. So when you get to this part, there's two slides that are going to come up. The Slice app is actually going to come up and it's going to tell you what they qualify for. So in this particular situation, this client qualified for preferred. Okay. So it's going to say preferred, you qualify for face amounts between 5,000 and 30,000. If they had been modified, it's going to come up and say you're qualified for face amounts between 1,000 and 20,000 with a 2-year reduced death benefit. If it was guaranteed issue, it's going to have a 3-year reduced death benefit. So the kind of cool thing about that is before you actually give them the quotes, you're underwriting it, so you make sure that you're giving them this underwriting tool is doing that for you, so you don't make any mistakes. It's going to bring up the slides about legacy. I've already covered legacy with my client, and in my presentation, I've actually already shown them the legacy video. But if you have not, so if you're doing your presentation face to face and you went through the senior life program, you went through legacy, but for whatever reason you didn't show the legacy video, or you're saving it to the end, this is where you want to show it then. Okay, so it's going to automatically pop up on your Slice app, show them the 2, 3, 4 minutes of the video, and then move on. Once you get through the legacy brochure, it's going to take you to the quotes. Now, it's going to give you this good, better, and best. It's also going to give you an option for custom. It's a little toggle wheel that you can toggle on, and you can spin it, and it will go from whatever they qualify. In this case, it was 5,000 to 30,000. Okay. And it's doing a 3-option worksheet for you. Now, when I do an in-home presentation, I don't use the iPad to do a 3-option worksheet. I use it to give me my quotes, but when I do the actual 3-option worksheet, I'm using a paper. I'm using the quote pad from Senior Life, and I'm actually writing it out on paper and then presenting it to them. Once we've narrowed it down and I've closed the client, then I'm going to select that, or I may do my custom quote and give them something more custom that's not auto-filled that you see here. Child writer, you can add as many children as you want, up until they're 18 years old. When you do the quotes, the quote automatically includes the $4 for legacy, and it automatically includes accidental death benefit. I always leave that in there. What's kind of cool about Senior Life is that you can add accidental death benefit to all the policies. Like with a lot of carriers, like their guaranteed issue or it's modified, they don't even allow you to add accidental death. So make sure that you include that. Also, just remember with legacy, it not only includes your client, but includes up to 4 other household members, even if they're not related, just people living in the house. So I close my client. I close my client on 15,000 of natural, 15,000 of accidental for $118 a month. I'm going to click on select. I'm going to move to my next screen. I'm going to verify all my client's information. This is where I'm going to type in their street address, make sure I get the telephone number and email address. For some reason, if they don't have an email, it's still a required field. So you need to put something in there. You could put in like noemail@gmail.com as an example, and it will take it. Verify their date of birth. You don't want any mistakes on this page because everything is going to carry over. Next thing it's going to ask you for is the beneficiary. Who is the primary beneficiary? You can add multiple beneficiaries. You can add contingent beneficiaries. If they don't have a contingent beneficiary, you can name their estate as their contingent beneficiary. So here I got Douglas Smith in as the beneficiary. That's the lady's son. He's listed as 100%. 100%. So I don't need to add in another beneficiary because he's 100%. And I think I added in, I'll show you here in a minute. I think I made the estate. I'm not 100% sure, but it is going to give you an option for them to name their estate as the contingent or backup beneficiary. So now look at the check marks I got. I got a check mark. I got my proposed information's correct. My policy owner's correct. My primary beneficiary, secondary beneficiary. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to fill in that information and get that correct. Charitable benefit. I got that done. Existing policies. This client actually does have some existing life insurance. We're not replacing it, but they do have life insurance. So I'm going to be a good agent and I'm going to make sure I record that information. Do you want automatic loan provision? I typically answer yes to that. Automatic loan provisions just simply means is that if there is an interruption with their bank draft or credit card, do they want to use their current cash value to make premium payments so the policy doesn't lapse? Who wouldn't want that, right? So click yes on that. Do you have any existing life insurance or annuity contracts? We clicked yes on that. She has one with American Life. I marked no, that it's not being interrupted or discontinued or replaced. Are you using funds? No. Policy number? I don't know. She doesn't know the policy number. So I just typed unknown. It took it. Now I got all check marks on everything. I'm good to go. I'm tracking. And guys, once you get the hang of it, and you can get through this pretty quick, get everything typed out. Face amount. We've already confirmed that because it carried over, that 15,000 carried over. Legacy household members. Remember, legacy will cover your client plus 4 other people. So I'm going to say, hey, Mrs. Smith, not only does the legacy cover you, I can also cover other household members that are living with you. So I got her son covered. I got her husband covered. I got her daughter covered because they all live in a big house all together. Okay, so I got 3 additional people. I could have covered 1 more, but they only had 3. So remember, you can do up to 4. We're getting close. Legacy members confirmed. Health questions. Now it's going to go through the rest of the health questions and doctor's information. Okay, so health questions. I'm not going to read you all these health questions. Just make sure you read them verbatim as they are written. As agents, we're legally required to read every question, make sure that we record them right. In this particular situation, we can answer no to everything. So we answered all the health questions, no. If you did have a yes, just answer it yes. Put in your client's doctor's information. So if you don't know the address, it's not required, just the name, the city, state. I don't think there's even a phone number required, but I was able to get that anyway. Medications at this point in time, if you had forgotten any medications, you can add them here. Let's see, health questions for the proposed, that's all done. Physicians, medical medications for proposed insured, that's all done. I got all check marks. I'm doing good and I'm going pretty fast. Now I'm going to get their checking information. So this client banks with Chase. Type in their routing number, type in their account number, type of account. It's checking if they're using a direct express card. You'll need to use that. A monthly premium, they're paying monthly. I'm in this particular situation, I'm not collecting a live check because they don't they're not going to have the money in the account until next month. So I post dated it a little bit. Initial withdrawal date is going to be February the 3rd, 2023. And then the billing day, which you would select in this situation, it doesn't show selected, but I'm going to select the 3rd as the billing day. And we are moving on. Now it's time for signatures. Is everybody there ready to take a signature? Now, in this case, the client, the owner, and the payor are all present. Okay. If you're doing a situation where maybe you're taking an application on somebody, but they're not the ones actually paying for it, someone else is paying for it, you need that person there. The payor needs to be there so they can sign. Okay. So if not, what you could do is you could do for some reason, if the payer is not there, you could still complete the insured's information, do everything, put it under construction, and then go back when the payor is there. But ideally, to make it simple, so you don't have to go back and forth, all parties involved, you want to make sure that they're there. So I'm going to click check mark because I've got everybody involved is here to sign. Oh, by the way, recording, I'm not doing a recording because I'm face to face with my client. Okay. If I was doing telesales, then I could do a a recording. And I guess you could technically, yeah, you know what? I just thought about this. Let's say you're with your insured, but the payor is not there. Let's say that's, you know, Mr. Smith or Mary's sister or daughter. You could do live signatures with Mary and then do a voice recording with the payor. So that, I forgot about that. That is an option that you can do. It's going to open up. I'm going to get her authorization. I'm going to click the little check mark. Mary's going to sign her name. Then we're going to go through the application. She's just agreeing to the terms and conditions. You can read this to your client. She's also agreeing that she understands that there is a $4 monthly charge for legacy. So one thing when you're doing the application, let's say hypothetically, let's say I quoted my clients and the premium is $65 a month as an example. You need to let your client know that Mr. and Mrs. Smith, your total premium is $65. Just so you know, when you see your bank statement or your credit card statement, it's gonna show $61 for the policy and $4 for legacy, because legacy, technically it is a separate membership and it's not life insurance. So it is broken down. So just make sure that they understand that. Don't make a big deal about it. It's just very, as a matter of factly, you're simply just informing them. I'm going to sign. That's my signature. You're going to open up, it's going to open up the application. Just use your finger, scroll down to the bottom of the application, click on the pink boxes. It's automatically going to apply the signature. And basically from this point, you're done. All you need to do is just keep going through the application. Every page that you get to, scroll down to the bottom, tap the pink box, apply the signatures. You're going to get a, you should be getting a circle with the RX live verification that the RX approval went through. Let's see, what was this? What was this last box? Okay, the application, again, I'm just finalizing signatures on the application. The addendum for the medication, the high blood pressure and diabetes. Application for legacy assurance membership enrollment. Again, every time you see a page, just scroll down to the bottom of it. You're going to see the pink boxes. Click on the pink boxes. It's going to apply the signatures. Once you get done with all that and you've applied all the signatures, and you got to go through quite a few pages you're going to sign. You're going to finalize it. Application finished, in under construction. But I'm going to go ahead and I don't want to keep it under construction. I'm going to go ahead and submit it. I'm going to click finalize, finished, and it's going to go ahead and submit that application. Once we're done with that, it's automatically going to prompt me, is that, hey, do you want to start an application on any of the legacy members? Here's the important thing to remember. If you're doing a husband and wife, you're not charging each one of them $4 for legacy. Only one of them is going to be the primary legacy member, and the husband or the wife is going to piggyback onto their policy. So what you want to do is, if you're writing two applications, husband and wife, you don't want to complete one application and go back in and start another one. You want to do it from right here. So let's say, for example, I completed Mary, but let's say Don is the husband. It's asking me if I want to create a policy. I'm going to click yes. Then it automatically knows that that person is already covered under legacy, and it's not going to include that extra $4 for the legacy membership. Finalize my application. I'm going to get a big fat green mark, check mark, application finished, verified, sent status, under transmission status. Okay. What's that telling me? That's telling me that the application has been submitted. to the home office. From there, it's going to go into your pending. So you're going to want to check your pending. Make sure you do all the proper follow-up. Make sure that you check your pending. You're getting with the client. You're letting them know that, hey, we're getting it through underwriting. We got them approved. That night when you go home, get your senior life thank you cards. If you don't have the thank you cards, call me. You can order them from my office. Send them out. It's a pre-printed thank you card, but it opens up. There's plenty of room there for you to put in a nice handwritten note to let your clients know that how much you care, and that their policy is being processed, and you're going to follow up with them. And the follow through, follow up, follow through, that's all extremely important. So anyway, guys, thanks for hopping on this call. I hope this has been informational. If you need help, just give me a call, myself or Tom, or Andreas. Will be more than happy to reach out and give you all the assistance that you need. All right, guys, thanks for hopping on, and just going to stop the recording here. All right, everybody, take care.